Hello my lovelies, and today I have something special for you. I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts and my opinions on the amazing, spectacular, dramatic, dark book Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. First things first, let me just say that this book was so good. I have so many feels for this book. I screamed, I cried a little. They were all just, this book was just, it was so good. I mean, it was so good. Like, aside from Harry Potter, if I could only read like one book for the rest of my life, it might be this one. I don't know, that's saying a lot, but it was great. You can actually tell from my makeup of choice that I was attempting to go for the darker theme that actually goes with this book. Kind of look somewhat like a vixen, but hey, that's okay. It's alright. It fits with the theme of the book, so that's what we're going for. The beginning of this book is going to be a non-spoilery section, but I will lead into some spoilery sections later, which I will be warning you guys about. And once that spoilery section comes, stop watching the video because I really want you guys to experience all the amazing things that Six of Crows has to offer for yourself. So basically, Six of Crows is beautiful. Like, first off, just look at the cover. It's really pretty. It's got raised letters like I love. Spine's pretty, red letters, you know, beautiful art, but it gets better. Look! It's black, and the spine is so pretty. It's shiny. It's got red letters. Oh, but that's not all. Just wait. Keep waiting. Turn your eyes to the pages, my friends. The pages are black. These pages, this is a solid black book. It is a black on black book. And we've got the really pretty, nice red on the inside, and then we've got the art, the letters right here. Oh, this book was beautiful. Yes, it is! So Six of Crows takes place in the same realm as the Grisha trilogy, which is also written by Leigh Bardugo. And one question that I've seen a lot of people tend to ask when talking about this book is, do you need to read the Grisha trilogy before you read Six of Crows? My friends, the answer to that is no. You do not have to read the Grisha trilogy before you read Six of Crows. They are two completely separate books, but they do take place in the same realm, so I would recommend reading the Grisha trilogy before reading Six of Crows, just so you can grow and develop your feelings for the world and the actual Grisha themselves, but you do not have to read one before the other. I mean, they're totally separate. Okay, first off, I apologize for my nasally voice. I'm real congested, but I needed to make this for you guys, so just bear with me, okay? So Leigh Bardugo has crafted this magnificent book, Six of Crows, and this book is about a heist that is performed by 6 complete misfit strangers whose name have yet to be revealed because this is the non-spoilery section, and I literally want to save as much information for you guys as possible when you read this so you can develop your own feelings. However, my feelings are exploding right now because I get to talk about this book and how great it was. So in Six of Crows, we are thrown into this world where there are these magic beings called Grisha, and the Grisha are basically like magicians. There's different levels of Grisha, there's fabricators, there's heartrenders, and there's a bunch of other ones, right? Basically, these Grishas, each one of them has a different type of power depending on which Grisha you are. In some countries, these Grishas are hated, they're loathed, and in other countries, they're worshipped, they're respected, and it really just depends on where these Grisha are in the country. Apparently, there's this drug, and it's called Parem, and what it does is, I think it only affects Grisha themselves, but what it does is it heightens their magic, but the side effect, of course, because every drug has a side effect, when a Grisha takes it, they become addicted to it like the moment it touches their lips. Like, it's so addictive, to the point where if they take it and continuously take it, then they'll end up dying. Or, you know, even if they take it once and then don't take it for the remainder of their lives, like, they could still die. Like, that's how bad this drug is. Not a good drug. So the characters in Six of Crows were magnificently presented in this book. I absolutely loved how Leigh Bardugo crafted these characters in such a dark way that they each have their own character, but it still fits with this brooding theme that Six of Crows has. And the plot itself was just epic. Like, everything in this book, like, this book was so action-packed, and it was so it was so good. I can't really say anything else with all the excitement that I have without spoiling you guys. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to the spoilery section. So if you have not read Six of Crows, it is amazing, and why have you been living under a rock? Go pick this book up. It's so good. The sequel is coming out in September this year, and you should probably read the first one before you read the second one. So go pick up Six of Crows, read it, and come back and we can discuss it, because we are going to discuss the crap out of this book. It was so good. Alright, bye-bye. And we're back. It's spoiler discussion time. So like I said earlier, the characters in this book were so terrifically crafted. Each character had their own little backstory. Oh, Kaz had his super depressing backstory with his brother Jordy. Poor Kaz. Like, there's a part of me that just kind of sympathizes him, but I feel like if Kaz were a real person, he would probably kill me for sympathizing him. So, Kaz was something else. Kaz was he was just dark. Oh, and another thing about these characters, and not just the characters, but also the places. What's up with the names? Y'all know that I literally can't pronounce anything. This book was actually kind of a struggle for me to get into, solely because I had no idea how to pronounce things. So I would sit and look at a word and just be like, huh, is it Jerda? Is it Fjerda? Is it Ferda? And then I ended up just looking all of them up, and apparently it's Ferda. Also, some other names. Let's see. Inej. For the longest time, I thought it was like Inej or Ineje. It was bad. Matthias. I don't even know if I'm saying that right now. I thought it was Matthias, and then for some reason I thought it was Mattias, and Mattias just sounds weird, so that one was just wrong. We have Yule Bayor. Didn't know how to pronounce that one at all, so whenever that one came up I called him Y. There's Novia Zem, and that's a place. That one was just, it was a little strange, a little less on the strange side, but it was still like, what's going on? Shuhan, Durholm. I can never tell which words the J's are silent and which ones are not, because there tend to be a lot of silent letters in half of this book, so I called it Jurholm. So, as far as these characters go, I'm gonna talk about my ships first, because I have two of them. Please don't hate on my ships, okay? One of my ships is actually particularly popular, and that ship is Inej and Kaz. I am all for Kinej. Inaz, I see them going somewhere. I do. It's gonna be epic in book 2. You get that part in the beginning of the book where Inej is talking about how Kaz is stupid. Oh, I don't see why he can't see it. He's incapable of love. And you totally are like, okay, Inej totally loves Kaz. These two are gonna get together. It's gonna be great. But then you get to Kaz's point of view, and I'm totally sitting there thinking, Kaz is incapable of love. This is just not gonna work, and Inej is gonna have her heart broken. But then that was fixed at the end of the book. It's okay. So I loved Inej, or the Wraith as she's called, that's her nickname. She literally went from little innocent girl to circus girl to amazing badass spy that could kill you in your sleep. I don't exactly know how those three different personalities like meshed together and made Inej, because however Leigh Bardugo did it, she did it perfectly, and whatever she was thinking of when she did it, like, Inej is like the perfect spy. Like, she's great. If I needed a spy on my team, it would be her. She was everywhere. She knew everything about everyone. She knew everyone's meetings, weaknesses. She knew everything. And also, the fact that Inej was a part of the menagerie, like, that I did not see coming. And then she has that little scar on her wrist from where she had to literally cut the tattoo from the menagerie off. And let me just say, Helene was she was so terrible. I hated her. Like, she was equivalent with Dolores Umbridge. Like, she was so bad, if not worse. She was, like, I wanted her dead. She has to die in the next book. I mean, I hope so. I hope, like, this is my plan. I hope Leigh Bardugo kills off all the people that we hate and every single character. I just hope she kills them off in book 2 and they're all dead, and then, like, our 6 people can just victor. And then we have Kaz. Oh my saints. Kaz. A part of me couldn't tell if I liked Kaz at first, because it was actually kind of scary reading his parts at first, because he was very mysterious, and he was very, like, insanely smart, like wickedly smart. It was just intense reading any chapter written by him, because his feelings, like, he barely even had any emotion or feelings at all. But then, you know, the end of the chapter comes and he admits that he likes Inej. So, little flicker of emotion that turned on and was like, yes! I absolutely loved the amount of sass that Kaz has when he's talking with Matthias. The beef that they had with each other was literally the funniest thing ever. I laughed out loud at basically any time they talked to each other, because Matthias literally hated Kaz's guts, called him a demon or a demjin, which also another word that I literally can't pronounce. Oh, maybe it's demon because the J could be silent? I don't know, I give up. And then the one scene where Matthias is explaining that they have their holy tree that they all come to for that holiday, Hringkala? And Matthias is telling them about the sacred ash, and Kaz goes, yeah, and then a tree tells you the secret handshake. I laughed out loud at that. That was so funny. Like, Kaz's sass level is just, can I have Kaz's sass, please? Or in the other part where Kaz and Matthias are talking, and Jesper blurts out, fine, but if Pekka Rollins kills all of us, I'm gonna bring my ghost back and make Wylan teach me how to play the flute just so I can annoy the hell out of y'all's ghost. And then Kaz pops up with, I'll just hire Matthias's ghost to kick your butt. And Matthias drops in with, my ghost will not associate with your ghost. So their little quarreling with each other was just spot on. So now we have Nina, and we find out that Nina is a Grisha. She's a heart trender. And basically a heart trender is one of those magic Grisha that can take apart the body, like undo the body, which tends to not really be what she needs when we get to the scene where she has to like heal everybody, especially Inej, like when Inej gets stabbed, because that was intense and scary. And for a second I didn't think that because Nina was a heart trender she was going to be able to, because she's not exactly a healer. She sort of is, but not really. So I was terrified. I absolutely love the backstory between Nina and Matthias, because, you know, you have those like 3 or 4 chapters that basically just plunge right into how they met, where they met, and how they grew together. Then you find out that Nina betrayed Matthias to save her own skin. I understand sometimes you have to make sacrifices to save yourself, but really? Really? I mean, come on. Another thing I absolutely love about Nina was the fact that she eats just all the time. And then there's that one quote in there that's like, when did I not find Nina eating? Or it was like, there was that one part in there where Nina's like, when am I not eating? And I just loved that part because strangely, I felt a connection to that. Then there's the part where Nina has to take Parem, the horrific drug that apparently kills Grisha, to save all of their butts at the end of the book. Why did Nina have to take the drug? I mean, I know that she had to take it in order to keep the story going, but why? 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 She better, like, heal up and fix herself before book 2, or like in book 2, because if she doesn't, I'm gonna flip out and it's not gonna be okay, because Matthias and Nina have to get together and be together, and they can't do that if Nina's dead. And she has stayed off of the Parem, and she's basically fighting off this sickness of addiction from this drug, and I really hope that she does it, because if we lose Nina, I might cry, I don't know. Now, traveling away from the depression of Nina taking the drug, we have Matthias. So Matthias has to go and fight these wolves, and apparently the wolves were like a sacred animal / symbol to Matthias and his people, and he did that little prayer thing at the beginning, like right before he killed the wolves. And as I read that, I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna be good, you know. I was really indecisive with my feelings for Matthias at first. And then, you know, we're trying to save him, getting him out of the cell. We snuck into the ice court, trying to get him out. We have our plan, and he's a total jerk at first. And I understand this is because, you know, Nina betrayed him, and he's so mad because Nina's a Grisha, and he's sitting there just thinking, oh, I'm gonna kill her. The first chance I get, I'm gonna kill this witch, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no. You can't kill her. You're supposed to be together. Together forever. But he was so hell-bent on killing her that he couldn't see that they needed to get out of the ice court. Like, he didn't even want her help at first. So I totally thought he was a jerkish character during this time. But then, of course, he, like, fixed himself later in the book. And everything was fine. Oh my gosh, the scene where Nina went into that really terrifying laboratory where they test drugs on Grisha, and there's like blood on the floor and everything, and of course she decides to go into one of the cells, and then the cell closes, and then she's trapped in there. I kind of saw that part coming when she walked in, but I didn't know that she was gonna come in. And then, oh my god, like Matthias came in, and Matthias was there, and I was sitting there thinking, that's it, my ship is ruined, they're gone, there's no more. Matthias is a jerk like I thought. But then he wasn't, and it was great, and it was okay, because it was all part of the plan, and it was just, had a really, really long, might have actually had a couple of them, sighs of relief when I found out it was originally all a part of the plan. And then they have those super cute moments between Matthias and Nina where they're slowly starting to get their relationship back, but it's growing at like the speed at which a snail moves. Like, it is literally so slow to grow. And a part of me wanted it to just be like, bam, Matthias knows he loves her, but it wasn't. So it's been challenging. And then we have Jesper, and Jesper was my favorite character. And I know that sounds kind of strange because Jesper isn't like the main badass in this book. I totally thought he was cool because he was like a gunslinger. When he didn't have his guns, he felt super twitchy and even more agitated than normal. And we find out he's a fabricator. Like, what? Jesper's a Grisha? When he does that thing where he uses his hands to manipulate the iron, and it was just, ugh, the really big shock. Oh, and this is my other favorite ship, let me just say right now. Jesper and Wylan. I don't care what anybody else says. I ship Jylen or Wesper, however y'all want to say it, but I ship them so hard. I feel like they will be perfect, and I feel like there needs to be something that happens between them in book 2. So just my thoughts, okay? Okay, Wesper 5 ever. I loved actually how the relationship between Jesper and Wylan started off, where Jesper was like, oh my gosh, you brought a mere boy onto our heist. And then he was picking on him about how he played the flute and everything. Jesper would say something sort of, you know, sort of scandalous or flirty, and Wylan would just kind of, his cheeks would just redden that little bit. And I was like, my ship has sailed! It's gonna happen! And about Wylan, he was the bait. He was their leverage. He was one of the main reasons why the heist was even possible. It was kind of like Kaz's backup plan, but that's okay because, like, Kaz is a genius and he basically had everything mapped out in his head before it even happened. Except for the ending, when Inej was taken, and Kaz was like, oh, I love her, I have to find her. My heart could not handle what was going on because I was super pumped at the fact that I was like, yes, 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 Kaz loves Inej. But then he couldn't tell her because she was taken. And I was just like, well, why didn't you tell her like 3 chapters ago and all of this could have been solved? Probably would have changed some things. But no, she was taken. Wylan's dad was a total, he was just a jerk. I mean, that is literally the worst thing that a parent could do, was totally mock you. Because I thought at first, you know, Wylan was just one of those rebellious kids who didn't enjoy his family life. And, you know, like with the sending of the letters and everything that said, oh, I love you, come back. But then we find out that Wylan can't read. And it turns out that cheery old dad was basically just screwing with his head the whole time. Basically trying to make him feel even more stupid by sending him letters that he can't read. Like, that was just not okay. Definitely not dad of the year, let me just say. I really hope that in book 2 of this duology, Pekka Rollins is gonna die, Helene will die. I want Wylan's dad to get some sort of mental slap to the face. I want them all gone. I want all the bad characters gone. I want them like gone for good, like destroyed, removed, out of the picture. They just have to be gone. There was that part of me when they were trying to get onto the prisoner's carriage, when they were first trying to get into the ice court, where Kaz opened the door and he stopped and stood there. My heart kind of was beating really fast because I was thinking, what if Jordy's in there? Like, what if Jordy's still alive? Because Cass thought Jordy was dead. Like, what if the body that Cass floated back on wasn't actually Jordy's and he was just like so distraught and his eyes were so teary that he couldn't actually tell? So I was freaking out at that point because I was like, oh my god, like Jordy's gonna come in and he's gonna be the 6th person in this 6-person heist. But he wasn't, and I calmed down and it was okay. I also loved how every single chapter was from a different character's point of view. So you could basically see and feel the situation the way that those characters did. You could feel their emotions, their sass. Like, the sarcasm literally was what kept me reading this book until like 3 in the morning basically every day. That's really all that I have to say about Six of Crows. I mean, this book, there really aren't that many words that I can say that can wrap up a book as good as this one. Leigh Bardugo, high praise. I mean, this book was fantastic. It was thrilling. There was adventure. There was emotion. All of the feels went through my mind when this book came out. I felt every single feel there was to feel when I finished reading this book, which I want to say was at close to 5 in the morning before school. So those are all of my thoughts and opinions on Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. You can leave comments in the comment box below on your thoughts on this book. Also, leave a comment or two about what book talks you want to see me make about other books. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!